Before we get started, if you're new here and you find yourself always needing more time, running out of time, or not getting the most out of your time, I have a short program called Where to Start that is going to help you as soon as today. Where to Start is where I teach the exact foundation I walk people through before they ever open a planner or create a to-do list. It teaches you what to do first so that you can get the most out of your days, your weeks, your months. You can find Where to Start linked wherever you're listening now. So pause me now to sign up and get started, or make a note to sign up after you're done listening to today's episode. You can click the link here where you're listening or go to wheretostart.me. That's wheretostart.me. Welcome to episode 9 of the Steward Well series, a 10-episode series designed and created to help you steward your time well. And not only you, but those in your circles. If you're the only one around you who you want to see get better, that's a problem. And so that's why I created the series using audio, because you can easily share it with the people in your life. It's so easy right now to hit the share button and drop it in your group chat to your favorite coworker, your favorite cousin, right? This is the episode to share with them. We are nearing the end of the series, and if you have listened to each episode, which my hope is you have, because they go in order on purpose. So if you're starting at 9 for some reason, go back to episode 1 and work your way up. I've intentionally kept them very short. But if you've listened to each episode, my hope is that you have begun to give thought to the lessons and how they may be best applied for your life. I've enjoyed hearing from people who are new to me, like this is the first time they've ever heard of me from this series, and how helpful the episodes have been and some of the practices that I've been teaching for years. And I've enjoyed hearing from those of you who have been learning from me for years upon years. A lot of you are saying that as you're listening, you're thinking, yes, I can attest that living out the principles that Shunta teaches will change your life for the better. And I thank you so much for reaching out and sharing that with me. It is truly an encouragement. So I thank you for everyone who has reached out and shared, and please continue to do so, because I love talking to you about these things. I truly care deeply about everything that I'm teaching here, or I would not use my time to talk to you about it, right? So today I want to talk to you about a practice that will help you wherever you are, whatever season you're in, and that is pruning. So pruning is the act of trimming off non-essentials so that the most important thing can grow, or removing something, sometimes temporarily and sometimes permanently, the things that are harmful, unhelpful, not primary, not the highest priority, in order to protect the thing or things that are most important or have the highest priority, right? In nature, it's the removal of specific parts like of a plant in order for that plant to grow and be healthy. And the application in our lives is no different than in like nature. You've likely heard me tell this story every time I talk about pruning, but my friend Laura and her pumpkin always come to mind when I'm talking about pruning, right? She is a gardener, and she wanted to grow a large pumpkin one year. And so she did something different that she had not done in years past, because she didn't have the success that she wanted in the years past. So she took to the vine and clipped off all the little buds except for one. Why did she do that? What was that going to yield? That allowed all the energy, all the nutrients to flow into one place. And so what grew was a pumpkin that was larger than a car tire. And so when you fail to prune, you have time-sucking, energy-sucking, purpose-sucking, time-wasting distractions, even some things that are quote-unquote good, but not best, taking your resources, your energy, your time, your money away from the thing what needs your resources the most in order to grow. And sometimes I think people hear pruning and they're like, well, I'm not doing anything wrong, or I'm not doing anything unhealthy. I'm not doing anything like that really is wasting time. And that's not the point. Congratulations if that's true for you. And still, there is so little time that pruning is still vital. It's not necessarily, in some sense, yes, for some people it is removing the things that are unhealthy, unhelpful. But sometimes it's removing things that might be great, might be good, but they're not the most important thing. That is key. If you have trouble prioritizing, pruning is going to help you, because it's going to force you to do that, right? So let's talk about it as it relates to your time, which let's start with the reality of time. Every single day, you're given 24 hours to steward. 7 to 8 of those minimum are spent sleeping, because health and our sleep is not on the list of things we're willing to trade off, right? So after sleep, that's 16 to 17 hours remaining. Once you account for hygiene, nourishing our bodies with food, caring for others, commutes, work of every sort. So not just work for income, volunteer work, work around your home, work in your communities, any type of work. There are very few hours remaining in any given day, in any given week. And I don't say that to discourage you, but actually to remind and encourage you why you must take your time seriously, and why, like we talked about from the very beginning, we must be stewards of our time. There is no time to waste. And chances are there are places in your life, in your day, in your week, in your calendar, in your list of yeses, where pruning will allow what's most important in this season of your life to grow. Please, if you have not already, done the work in the Name Your Season and Values vault that I've created for you and Where to Start, prioritize doing that today. It is going to help you tremendously. You need to get inside of Where to Start and work through those if you want to apply anything that I've talked about over the last 9 episodes. What needs to be pruned? What commitments are not the best use of your time? And what yeses need to become not right now or no's? It's hard to answer that question, though, without first identifying your pumpkin, so to speak, right? What is that thing that you want to grow, to give life to allow all your focus and energy and time to flow to? Once you identify that, again, Where to Start is going to help you do that step by step. Then you now have your focus, and anything that does not aid in that is on the chopping block for pruning. And I didn't say this, but Where to Start is linked right where you're listening right now. Pruning, I will say this, I want to give you a little warning. Pruning usually brings up doubts, fears, hesitancy, and storytelling, basically making yourself believe that everything is so important. There's no way I can prune anything, but I'm only doing the most important things. And I want to challenge you there and give you a little pushback. I want to invite you to talk with me over in the Once a Day at a Time membership. I'm happy to talk through where you are in your pruning process and prioritization of what needs to be pruned, right? When I think of the people I've worked with who have made the most significant and consistent, I'm talking about, I can look at them years, like people who I started working with in 2020, and I can see the consistency still in their lives in 6 years later when I'm recording this. Pruning was a necessary component. It is important, or I wouldn't have made it an episode topic, right? So your 9th question of the series, because every episode leaves you with a question for you to journal and come talk with me about, is this. What is your pumpkin? Meaning, what is it that you want to see grow, improve, receive the best of you or the best of your time? And what is on the list to be pruned in order to make it a reality? What is your pumpkin? Meaning, what is it that you want to see grow, improve, or receive the best of you or your time? And what is on the list to be pruned in order to make it a reality? Share with me over on Instagram. I'm at Shunta Grant, SHUNTA GRANT. And let's talk about it over in my membership, One Today at a Time. I'll talk to you again in our final episode, episode 10. So make sure, if you have not been sharing these episodes, to hit the little share button and share it in your group chat with your coworkers, your cousins, your social media following, because what would it be like if everyone around you actually learned how to steward their time well? That's something to think about. This Steward Well series is brought to you by Where to Start, my online program that walks you step by step on where to start if you want to steward your time well. The best news, we don't begin with lists and productivity. Actually, none of that is included. Instead, I'm going to show you how to steward your time in a way that honors your values and your specific season. And yes, I teach you how to define both of those things inside of Where to Start. Where to Start is linked right now wherever you're listening, or you can go to wheretostart.me. That's wheretostart.me today.